Okay, people, today we're going to be talking about tenant screening. Tenant screening is a very important part of the rental process. It can either make or break your property. Hi, I'm Adrienne Harrell with Newbridge Management, and I cannot tell you how important tenant screening is, because to get the right tenant into the property takes a little bit of work. But if you have the wrong tenant in the property, a number of things can go wrong. You can either end up having to evict the tenant can end up taking advantage of you, destroying the property, destroying your investment. So we don't even want to talk about having a bad tenant in the property. We're going to talk about getting a good tenant and focus on the screening part of getting the right tenant in the home. An application process is very important. Make sure that you collect an application for everyone that is over the age of 18 that's going to be living in the home. One of the things that you want to do on everybody that lives in the home, regardless of the fact that they just turned 18, you want to make sure that you have all of the pertinent information that you're going to need in case you ever end up in court. So having an application is very important. Do a credit check on everyone within the home. That tells you the person's credit worthiness. But of course, in the recent years, not everybody's had good credit. So you have to rely on other factors, things such as the rental history. Always call the previous landlords to verify rental history. And when you call them, don't just go through the checklist of questions that you have. Did they pay their rent on time? Did they have any complaints against them? Did they bounce any checks? Yes, we all ask those questions, but be a little bit more sneaky, because tenants that are out there to take advantage of you are also sneaky. So when you're doing the rental history verification, don't just give up the address. Just say, hey, I have the address as Main Street. I'm sorry, I don't have the number. Can you tell me the number? And the reason why you're asking the other person to verify the address of the home that the person had as their previous rental home is because you want to make sure that the person that's doing the rental verification is the person that should be doing it. And it's not just a friend that has been put on the application, because that has happened to us in the past. So be a little bit sneaky when you're doing your rental verification. The next thing you should always be looking at is the income verification. Income is easy to verify. Call up their employer. Some employers don't like to do over the phone. You have to fax information in, or some people just bring you in their pay stubs. Nowadays, people can create pay stubs. So look up the phone number for the company and call them out of the blue and say, hey, can I speak to Joe? Because I wanted to leave him a message. And if you say, hey, I want to speak to Joe, and if that person is there, you know that they're employed, and you can match their information to their pay stub or any information that you might have gotten from their employer, which is, do they work there? How much money do they make? Or they can verify. You can't ask how much money they make, but you can verify that. Take that one step further. See if the person has ever been evicted. Make sure to run a past eviction check on your prospective tenants, because the last thing you want to do is rent to someone that's already gone through the eviction process and is a chronic evictee. Or you may want to go ahead and rent to that person. There's nothing that says you can't rent to someone who's been evicted in the past, but make sure that you maybe want to collect additional security deposit or have a cosigner on the application. The other thing that you want to also check on is their criminal background check. Now, I will forewarn you, you cannot discriminate against people that have criminal backgrounds. So if somebody has a DUI, for example, that's having a criminal history, but you can't necessarily discriminate against them because maybe they have had that on their record. And you cannot discriminate against someone just because they've been incarcerated. One of the things that you can keep them from renting your home is if they've had a drug trafficking charge against them, because the last thing you want to do is have someone that has had drug trafficking in their history and now utilize your home as a drug trafficking center, for example. So making sure that you do your due diligence up front is going to help you have a healthy and a great relationship with a tenant, hopefully in the long run. I'm Adrienne Harrell with Newbridge Management.